neighbors and friends. Thank you so much for joining us today for this exciting announcement. Before we get to it, let's enjoy some music by Rob Ickes and Trey Hensley. These gentlemen are an instrumental part of the Music City Roots family, and we're so grateful to have them. Take it away, guys.
Rob Ickes, Trey Hensley. How about that? Hey, welcome everybody. I'm John Walker. My team always has a little office pool going on how long it's going to take Walker to cry and stuff like this. So start the clocks now. Too late. Anyway, that song, Born in the Barn, written by Rob Ickes and performed by Rob and Trey today, has a particular significance to us. 10 years ago this year, my friend and visionary partner Todd Mayo and I launched our beloved Music City Roots in a barn on the edge of Music City where it meets the iconic Natchez Trace. And by the way, Todd sends his regrets. His little daughter broke her arm at camp this morning, so had to run to the hospital. God bless her. But anyway, we adopted that song as our theme song. I know that Rob's original reference in Born in the Barn was the birth of a higher power, but hey, it's an instrumental. We took some liberties. But today that song has an additional meaning because we're going to share some exciting news, as you know, about the birth of a new barn and new home for Music City Roots and more right here on another edge of Music City in another iconic location that will soon become known as another amazing, authentic music destination here in Metro Nashville, Madison Station. And if we may tear the covers off. Vanna. Woo, how about that? So, as we meet here today at the historic Amqui station, a train station so beloved by Johnny Cash that he saved it from demolition in the 70s and moved it into his backyard in Hendersonville with a prophetic vision of a day such as this. I'm filled with gratitude. Gratitude to so many of whom are here with us today, the leaders of our city and state, and even our nation that have played roles in making this day possible, the leaders of business and the music industry that have all partnered with us in a spirit of cooperation and collaboration, our new neighbors who have welcomed us with open arms into this new development, and our broadcast media partners who have helped us amplify our mission nationally on television through NPT, Channel 8, and on American Public Television, and over the radio through our beloved 100,000-watt charter NPR powerhouse, WMOT 89.5 Roots Radio, the pride of Middle Tennessee State U. And of course, gratitude to our MCR family and team who have stayed together through thick and thin to keep this vision alive. My partner, Todd Mayo, always adept at turning a phrase, has referred to Music City Roots as building a community of fans, bands, and brands. And the key word there is community. And Mr. Mayor, if I may be so bold as to paraphrase something I've heard you say recently, growth is not only about getting bigger, it's about getting stronger. And we believe we get stronger by building community, and we build community by first celebrating the things that we agree upon, and from there we can find ways to unite in all the other areas. The Music City Roots vision is one that's really hard to disagree with, I believe. We live and serve to showcase the artists of high integrity that are so often underserved in the mainstream and such world-class talents. Yet, what is American roots music if not an expression of the very melting pot that defines America? Without the collision of cultures from Europe and Africa and North America, Latin America, Asia, there would be no Americana, no bluegrass, jazz, gospel, blues, country, rock and roll, R&B, or soul. In a world where there's much division, music unites. I heard Billy Crystal once say about another world-class city, New York, it's not a big city, it's just a series of great, small little neighborhoods that are intertwined and connected. And so we're humbled today to be a part of a launch of yet another great new neighborhood that is connected and intertwined in another world-class city, Nashville, Tennessee, Madison Station, right here in Madison, Tennessee. And with that, I'd like to introduce a leader that has inspired all of us with her passion, commitment, and tireless efforts toward building community and celebrating the rich musical heritage that resides right here in Madison. Please welcome Honorable Council Member and friend, Nancy VanReece.
Okay, I'll try not to cry myself. This is pretty amazing. You made it? All right. Good morning. Wow, what a day, right? Roots. Realization, opportunity, obligation, tenacity, and strategic support. Realization. When I first met Kitty Wells in 2011, at the invitation of equally legendary Joanne North, I was thrilled, naturally, but what happened was deeper than that. I knew that Madison's future had to be deeply rooted in its historic country and bluegrass past. After all, Johnny Wright and Kitty called this place home. So did John Hartford, Earl Scruggs, Bill Monroe, June Carter, and Hank Snow. And so did DeFord Bailey. DeFord Bailey, an American country music and blues stars from the 20s up to the 1940s. He first performed at the Grand Ole Opry as the first African-American performer on the show. Loretta Lynn and Mooney rented a 1955 ranch house over on Barbara Avenue, and they lived there for 2 years before anybody really knew who she was. Madison has awakened its roots with new, soon-to-be legends living right here in Madison, like Elizabeth Cook, the Farmer and Adele, Alan Thompson, and many others. The opportunity here has been recognized on a national scale. The National Endowment for the Arts is working with the Office of Nashville Arts and Culture on an examination of the creative class in 37115 to ensure that tools are available to have attainable housing, to help momentum here, to encourage what has been referred to as the Madison Renaissance. With every community meeting the last 10 years, and a lot of you have been at all of them, Metro planners have asked, where is the geographic heart of Madison? Every time the question was asked, people would point on those large maps right at Amqui Station and 50 Forward. Within the first few months of my term in 2015, I met with Mayor Briley, and we talked about the city's infrastructure investment and vision as it related to what we now know to be Madison Station Boulevard. With Mayor Briley's ongoing enthusiastic support, construction will begin within a few weeks. Yeah. A beautiful, complete street designed with active community feedback also generated an obligation. The powerful obligation to have the public of investment of nearly $6 million to build this beautiful street all the way to Old Hickory Boulevard, achieve economic development that we are all beginning to see here today is an obligation. Tenacity. Todd Mayo and I have both a lot of it. The last couple of years have been quite a journey. I wanted to see Music City Roots return to Davidson County where it belonged. You know, it was down at this place called Franklin. I don't know if you know. At first, it looked like downtown was gonna be where it was gonna land. But Todd Mayo and John Walker both have this amazing instinct. It said to them, roots music doesn't belong in neon, it belongs surrounded by barnwood. Meanwhile, a very tenacious, all-volunteer Discover Madison Incorporated board was diligently doing grunt work, and I mean, literally, I heard them grunting, trying to raise funds to get out of organizational debt and to raise money to upkeep this historic property and community's pace. No matter how hard Todd and I tried to shake it loose, we knew the best place for Music City Roots was on Madison Station Boulevard. I spoke to AT&T. The additional 1 acre of land they generously donated in 2014 was done so with the express intent to benefit the community. They agreed to allow Discover Madison to enter into a relationship with all aboard Madison that will now preserve this historic structure, increase programming for DMI. Indeed, $1 of every ticket sold to Music City Roots will go to Discover Madison in perpetuity. Thank you for that. Further, as if that's not enough, a shared bus entrance to the property will allow 50 Forward transportation, tour buses, and anticipated shuttles from downtown conventions and Opryland Hotel easy access. We are giving Nashville visitors a reason to stay one more night. Get out of the honky-tonks and into the MCR barn. The MRC barn at Madison Station. When they broadcast on public radio, by video, on public television, and all kinds of other ways, they will be live from Madison Station, next to Amqui Station, the train station Johnny Cash saved. And hopefully very soon, this is for you, Mayor, across the street will be the Kitty Wells and Johnny Wright Park behind the recently renovated Madison Library. Ample parking for the events has been made possible through a partnership with 50 Forward Madison Station. That arrangement further financially supports the programming of this very important and vital Madison facility, of which Kitty Wells was a member, as am I. All these strategic support elements make this possible. Roots, realization, opportunity, obligation, tenacity, and strategic support. Something absolutely epic is happening here. I'm reminded of the voice of Brandi Carlile singing, "Wherever is your heart, I call home." Welcome home, Music City Roots. Welcome home. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Mayor David Briley.
I was afraid Nancy was going to let it slip that there's a plan to build a wall around Davidson County and have Williamson County pay for it. And that was the true reason that Roots was moving here, but that is not true. In case anybody told you that is simply not true. But this is the perfect moment to acknowledge what kind of city we are, right? Because here we are in what has long been one of Nashville's most important neighborhoods. For those of you who've been around for a while, you remember the moment when Ira North was the pastor at Madison Church of Christ, and in many respects presided over the religious life of this city. I mean, I think it's not an overstatement to say that he was the city's religious leader for many years. And back in the 60s and 70s, more trains went by, and the political life of the city really centered around this community as well. And so it's no surprise that as we move forward as a community and we try to protect and preserve what's important about this city, about our region, about our country, that here in Madison, we would be acknowledging that and bringing Music City Roots back to a barn that's going to be right behind me. So today is the perfect day for us to think more clearly about what kind of place we're going to be, about what's important to Nashville, about what's important to the future successes of this city. And without WMOT and Music City Roots and Nancy VanReece and 50 Forward and Madison Incorporated, without all of these groups coming together, it just wouldn't happen. So on behalf of all the folks who are not here, all the folks who do live in Nashville, I just want to say thanks to everybody for coming together and getting something really important done for this city, because music in Nashville isn't just about nostalgia, right? It's not just about that. It's about creating new things. It's about building new neighborhoods. It's about inspiring new musicians to create. And that's really what this barn is going to be 100% about. And so I'm happy to be here today. And as soon as I get the request in writing for the park, I'll be glad to sign that, and we'll have a park here in the very near future. So thank you very much. In writing. I do want to acknowledge a person who has arrived. I'm not sure if we'd have a chance after I sit down, but State Representative Bill Beck is here as well. This is his district. He led the effort to get AT&T to donate the land for the barn itself, and so thanks to AT&T and thanks to Bill Beck. I'm sure you all know his family been a longtime part of the city of Madison and North Inglewood, where I used to reside. So thanks, Bill, for being here. Thanks for getting this going, and I look forward to being back in about a year or so to kick it off. Thanks.
So there it is. With that, another appropriate song from Rob and Trey. We've got pictures to show you and releases in the back, and we'll be around after the song if anybody has any questions. Please welcome Rob and Trey Hensley. Rob Ikes and Trey Hensley.
We're working on a building now. Well, if I was a gambler, I'd tell you what I'd do. Well, I'd do my drinking. We're gonna build it. Working on a building. I'm working on a building. I'm working on a building. For my Lord, for my Lord. The Holy Ghost building. It's a Holy Ghost building. The Holy Ghost building. For my Lord, for my Lord. And if I was a preacher, tell you what I do.